Hi, hello everyone. Welcome to my channel. This is 𝐷𝐿𝐿, and in this video, I'll explain you how to pull Docker images from a GCP Artifact Registry without using any of the IAM service account credentials. So first, let's navigate to Artifact Registry. So directly search for Artifact Registry, and I'm going to open this in a new tab. So here you can see currently I have two different types of repositories. So I'm going to open this first repo, which is Docker demo-repo. So inside this repository, I have a Docker image. So here you can see this is the Docker image. So by default, when we create any of the repositories on Google Cloud, by default it will be private. So in previous video, I explained you how to pull Docker images from a private artifact registry using IAM service account credentials. Okay. So in today's video, I'm going to explain you how to pull this Docker image from this GCP artifact registry without using any of the service account credentials. Okay. So to pull this Docker image, first we need to convert this repository to public, and we can directly pull this Docker image without using any of the service account credentials. Okay. So first let's navigate to compute engine. So I have created a virtual machine, compute engine and virtual machines. So here you can see previously I created a virtual machine. I'm going to connect to this virtual machine, and in this virtual machine, let's try to pull that Docker image. Directly select your authorize. So meanwhile, let's come here and open this repository and directly select here pull. And here you can see you can directly copy this command. Come to VM instances, open your shell. First, let's update this by hitting sudo apt update -y. So previously I installed Docker in this virtual machine. Let's select here Docker version. Sorry. So here you can see 24.0.7. So this is the Docker version. So let's hit here Docker images. So currently we don't have any of the Docker images and we don't have even one Docker container. Okay. So now let's paste that command. So let's see whether it will pull this Docker image or not. So when I select here, so here you can see error response from daemon. So here you can see authentication failed. So it is unable to pull this Docker image. Why? Because means that is a private repository. Okay. So here you can see this Docker image is in the private repository. By default, when you create any of the repositories, it will be the private repositories only, guys. Okay. So if you want to pull this Docker image, there is two different ways. One is using your IAM service account credentials. You can directly pull this Docker image. So in previous video, I explained you that. So in this video, I'm going to explain you how to pull this Docker image without using any of the credentials. So to do that way, you need to convert this repository to public. Okay. Then only you can directly pull your Docker image. So first let's navigate to, let's open in new tab and let's open official documentation. Directly search for configure public access to a GCP artifact registry. So we are going to convert our private artifact registry to public. Okay. So then anyone can pull that Docker image without using any of the credentials. Okay. So let's come down and granting project wide roles, not this. So granting repository specific roles, not this. Configure public access to a repository. Okay. So here you can see configuring public access to a repository. We are going to provide public access to a repository. Okay. So to provide public access to a repository, you need to open that artifact registry and you need to select that repository. Okay. And after that, you need to select show info panel. So let's come here and let's select repositories and let's select this repository demo repo. So inside this repository, I have a Docker image. So directly select here show info panel and let's come here, and after that you need to select add principal, and after that you need to select new principal, and in that principal we need to select all users. Okay. So let's come here and add principal and new principal. So in this we need to select all users. Okay, we selected all users and let's come here, and now we need to select the role artifact registry read. Okay. So now let's come here, and here let's give artifact registry read. Okay. So now let's save this. And here you can see, are you sure you want to make this resource public? So allow public access. So we are going to give public access to this repository. So if you are going to do this in your organizations, don't try to do this, guys. So why? Because means anyone can pull this Docker images. So this is highly risky. Okay. So I will open this repository. Now I will copy that command once again. I will select here Netflix, and here I'm going to open this image. So let's select here pull, and we can directly copy this command. So let's directly copy this docker pull command, and let's come here and let's paste this command once again. Select enter. So still it was saying authentication. Let's do one thing. Enter. So let's give here sudo permissions, sudo docker pull. So here you can see now it is able to pull this docker image. Why? Because means we have given public access for that repository. So now anyone from anywhere can pull that docker image. So docker images. So here you can see this is the docker image. So now we have successfully pulled this docker image without using any of the service account credentials. So now you can provide this docker pull command to pull this docker image. You can provide this command to anyone. So anyone can pull this docker image from this GCP artifact registry. So now this repository is in public. So again, if you want to remove public access for this repository, so come down here. You can see revoking roles. To revoke access to a repository, remove the principal from the list of authorized principals. Okay. So again, you need to open repositories, and you need to select that repository, and you need to select show info panel, and you need to remove all users. So here you can see you need to remove this principal. So now let's do that. So let's come here. Let's select repositories. So this is the repository we have given public access, right? So let's select this repository, and here let's drop down this artifact registry administrator. So we have given artifact registry read permissions, right? So let's drop down this, and here you can see all users. So directly remove this principal, remove. So now this will be private now. Okay. So we have removed all users, right? So hide this info panel. Again, let's come here and let's remove this docker image, docker RMI. Let's paste it here, colon latest. We are going to remove this docker image and docker images. Okay. So right now we don't have any of the docker images. So let's open this demo repo, and let's pull this docker image once again. Let's open this docker image, and let's select here pull, and copy this command, docker pull command, and paste it here, and select enter. So it was unable to pull this docker image. So let's try to pull with sudo user, sudo. So here you can see request do not have permissions artifact registry repositories. Okay. It doesn't having access to pull this docker image. Okay. So this is how you can pull your docker images without using any of the service account credentials. So you need to give public access to your repository. So this will be very risky if you are using this in organizations. Okay. So don't try to perform this in your organizations. Okay. So if you want to give public access and anyone can pull this docker image. So if you want to pull your docker images securely, you can directly create service account credentials, and you can directly provide that service account credentials to your friends or everyone. So using that service account JSON key, everyone can pull the Docker images. Okay, so that will be secure. So in previous video, I explained that how to pull Docker images from a private artifact registry using IAM service account credentials. Okay, so try to watch that video. And yes, that's it for today's video. And if you like my video, please do like, share, and subscribe to my YouTube channel, guys. And see you in the next video. And bye.